Hello, and a very warm welcome back to my channel. This is the first time you're seeing my face. Hello, my name is Nick. Fab to have you here. I am all about living life loud, making the most of life, having fun with it, being your authentic self. If you happen to have seen me before, hello, thank you so much for coming back. If you like the video today or any of my other videos, please do consider giving me a thumbs up and a subscribe, and I would really appreciate it. So, what am I going to talk to you about today? I am going to do a little bit of a shoe review, and it's going to be of my favourite trainer, which is the Kurt Geiger Donnie. Now, Kurt Geiger is a brand that I've been buying from for shoes for probably about 7 or 8 years, I would say. Yeah, I would say that's probably fair. Sorry, I've got the hiccups. That's not great. So I've been buying from them for about 7 or 8 years, and I've probably been buying Kurt Geiger Donnies. I would say I bought my first pair, I think, in 2018. So again, I've been buying those for about 3 years. I absolutely love them. I own about 5 or 6 different pairs of them in various designs, and they just happen to work really well for me. So let's get into it. Okay, now if anyone is interested in the shoes that I am wearing today, I'm going to very classily try and lift my foot. I am wearing a pair of patent neon pink pumps, I guess you could call them, and they are by ASOS, and I happen to really love these. They're incredibly uncomfortable, but they're great for just, you know, strutting around the house doing your thing. So let's get into talk about the shoes that we're actually here to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Kurt Geiger Donnie, and for the most part, I'll probably use my pink ones as the example. Now, I could be wrong, but I think they do a similar style for both men and women. If the Donnie is still around. It was definitely a classic style for a number of years. Whether it's still around, I'm not 100%, but they'll definitely have a variation of it. So these are my Kurt Geiger Donnies in the pastel pink. I bought these from Selfridges in 2019, I want to say. That I think as trainers go, they're not in the luxury category by any means, but full price, these go for around £130, which for a trainer that's non-luxury designer is still a relatively expensive trainer. Now, I have bought a number of mine on sale because I tend to buy the slightly weird and wonderful patterns, but I have also bought them full price, just because I happen to have really liked it and I didn't want to run the risk of not buying it. So, what have I found with these? I think it's a very classic shoe all in. It's got very classic features of a trainer. It's not got a massively thick sole on it. It's a low rise trainer, or is that jeans? Would you say low rise is jeans? High top, low top? Are they called low tops? I'm not sure. Classic trainer style. They can be as showy or as non-showy as you want. They do them in all sorts of colours. Like I said, I have mine in less classic, but you could get them in black. You could get them in plain white. You could get them in other colours. So I have these ones in pink. I have these white ones, which have this leopard print detailing on the back and the black laces and the patent, what's that called? Tongue. But again, without that, they would be quite a classic trainer. And then I also have these, which are in the kind of rainbow. This was, I think, my first pair or my second pair. I can tell by the size, and I'll come on to the size in a minute. No, these weren't my first. Because, yeah, and then these are very bright. I do have some other rainbow ones. I also have some that are in this almost like horsehair type look to them. I don't know what they are, but they're kind of a leopard print, furry thing. Anyway, what are the strengths of this shoe? I think it's very classic. I love the colours it comes in. I think it's a very easy trainer to style. I've never had any problems with it from that perspective. Huge amount of compliments. I like the fact that you have, on this one in particular, you've got the suede on the tongue, you've got the suede on the back here. I like the fact that it's quite subtle in terms of the branding. You've got Kurt Geiger London here, and then you've got Kurt Geiger London in a little badge on the top there. And I think these are all the same, yeah. So you've got Kurt Geiger London there, and then you've also got it kind of etched in the back there. So they're quite subtle. I like that about them. The main downsides of these, and the reason why I bought one full price and have subsequently bought them all on sale, is because the wear and tear on these is abysmal. And I know that shoes are designed to be worn, and I have worn these, do not get me wrong, I've worn them. But the wear and tear on them, I mean, these, you can see the sole has turned orange, which is really poor. They're really hard to clean. The suede has really seen better days. And I do clean my shoes. I'm a bit fanatic like that, and I like to clean them. So I'm not very happy with that. And then you can probably see actually better on these. Look how manky. That was a white shoe. And like I said, I actually have those shoe cleaners where you can almost like repaint them. And I've used those on this. The marks just don't go. They just look so scuffed. From a distance, I think they look okay. But it's when you really get up close and then you get marks like this that then just will not disappear. And you can see the wear on these even there, you know, the sole. They're just... It's disappointing. It is disappointing when you spend hundreds of pounds on a shoe, potentially, you know, if you bought them all brand new, and not brand new, sorry, if you bought them all full priced, and they potentially run that risk. Yeah, don't love that. But anyway, warbling. And then the other thing, and the reason that I mentioned about sizing and why I wanted to check what size it was to see if it was my first, is I'm a size 10, and most shoes I tend to be true to size, and there's the odd brand that I tend to go higher or lower in, but I tend to be true to size. And I bought these in a size 10, or I bought some of them in a size 10, and I had no end of issues with, they were essentially scraping off the back of my heel. Really uncomfortable. I won't insert a photo, I do have one, but I won't insert it because it's ugly. But they were really, really painful, and I could not even walk probably 100 steps without them causing the backs of my ankles to bleed, and I can't wear shoes like that. So I made the decision to try and go down a size and see if that made all the difference, and it did to a certain extent. So I found that they slipped a lot less. They pinched a tiny bit, but they slipped a lot less. However, with every single pair, and I'm not going to show you, but I look at them and I can see there is blood on the inside of each of them from clearly where I have stripped the back of my ankle, but then they have gotten comfortable. So these are now very comfortable. But do I believe or advocate for a shoe that you would need to potentially go through that for? Probably, I mean, I probably do, because I've done it and I've got, you know, 5 pairs of these, so I have done it. But would I, if that's not your gig and you're not, rightfully, you know, you don't want to suffer in order for the shoe to work for you, then I would potentially look at something else. Now, conversely, a shoe that is super comfortable from Kurt Geiger and was comfortable from the offset, I don't know which one's right, is this. And this is the Whitworth. And I have mine in this peach suede, and it's not my favourite colour in the world. I think that the pink on this is a prettier shade. However, this is super duper comfy, and I think the reason being, I'm not going to show you that one because that one does have blood in it, this one doesn't, is because this is quite thin and it's not very well padded, and then you've got this leather that's stitched on the back of it, and I think that makes it very solid and doesn't have a lot of give, and you can see that's where you would scrape it. It's that join there that's where you would scrape. These don't have that. Look how padded that is, and it's not got the join that then would scrape on your foot. Just makes all the difference. And again, they do these in not as many of the kind of elaborate patterns, but they do them in some really lovely colours. They do them in some great neutrals as well. Pink like this for me is, I consider that a neutral. But, you know, not pink isn't a neutral for everyone. But I do consider it a neutral. To be fair, I probably consider neon pink a neutral for me. But this is a very, very comfortable alternative. I think they still sell these. They always go in the sale. Highly recommend. I love Kurt Geiger shoes, and If I saw a pair of Donnies that were in the perfect style for me, would I buy them again? Of course I would, but I know I need to go down a size, be prepared for the fact that my ankles might bleed, and I would preferably get them on sale because the wear and tear just isn't what I want them to be. However, they are my most complimented shoes. Out of every shoe I own, they are my most complimented because they come in some really fun patterns and prints, and I think that's great. I love a compliment. A compliment is never wasted on me. So there we go. I was hoping it was going to be quicker than that, but I've given you quite a thorough overview, I hope, of the Kurt Geiger Donnie, my thoughts on it, and I look forward to speaking to you in my next video. Mwah! Take care.